Then we move on to phonics, and phonics is where you start to match the sounds with the written kind of script that we see. So that thing that looks like a circle, that's an O, okay, and that sounds like O. Okay, so they start to, phonics is the making the children or helping children to understand the link between the sound and the actual written symbol for that letter. Of course, we do lots of activities along the way with children, lots of experiences around music, movement, singing, reading, lots of reading. And if you read to your child 10 minutes a day, and it doesn't matter if it's the same book again and again, often children will enjoy reading the same book again and again, you will see them eventually they'll start to memorize the kind of the language in there, they'll memorize the text, and eventually they'll start reading it to you. Now, they may not be able to read all the words, but they can recognize the order of the words, and they recognize how to kind of put them into sequence and what the words, they might even start to recognize the beginning sounds of some of those words. The other thing we want to do when we're reading with children, as much as possible, is what we call dialogic reading. Right? Dialogic reading is when you encourage children to talk about what you're reading with them. So if you're reading The Hungry Caterpillar, for example, you go along and read the story. What we sometimes used to do is tell all the children, okay, be quiet until I finish the book, because otherwise they're going to interrupt the flow of the story. What we now want children to do is to talk about it. Right? So as I'm reading The Hungry Caterpillar, I'll ask lots of questions. What can you see on the page? Oh, what does that look like? Oh, look, this word is written really big, so that means I have to say really loud. Okay, so asking children to relate this to their own experiences. Okay, so the hungry caterpillar is eating apples. Oh, we ate apples for morning tea today. Right, so this is helping children to relate the text to their own experiences. You might relate it to other books that they have read. So, if you're reading The Very Cranky Bear, oh, is that the same bear that they found when they went on a bear hunt? Okay, so they're starting to make those connections between text. And then we also talk about the connection between the world around them. Okay, oh, look at this bird. Have you seen this kind of bird before? Or these children are going to the beach, right? So have you been to the beach? What did it feel like? What did you do at the beach? And encouraging children to talk as we are reading to them, not just be quiet and listen. That's dialogic reading. Now, sometimes you do need them to pay attention to the rhythm of the words. A lot of picture books have lots of strong rhyme in them. If you're trying to emphasize the rhyme, you might just say, I'm going to read it through this time, you guys just listen, and next time we can talk about it, or the other way around, whatever works, depending on the story and depending on the group of children you're with. But emphasizing that rhyme and rhythm, and you might even just pause and give children a moment to just fill in the word themselves, because they've heard that story so many times, and then they know what's coming next when you stop.